Tickled Purple. Thomas was about to start work when the Fat Controller arrived and said this to Thomas. Thomas, I want you to go to the Sodor paint shed to have a new coat of paint, he said. Thank you, sir, whistled Thomas. I will be the brightest engine on the whole island. And with that, Thomas steamed into the paint shed. The workers were waiting. And so instead of Thomas's old blue paint, they replaced it with purple paint. And with that the workers were finished. Thomas was fender to fender in bright purple paint, and he could not believe his eyes. Just then the Fat Controller said this to Thomas. Thomas, he said, you look fab in this purple paint, and now today my granddaughter is having her birthday party. Murdoch was going to take her to the town, but he has broken down. So I want you to do what really has to follow you, what really wants to make him follow you, he said. But sir, said Thomas, I'm not ready yet. I think you do look ready, Thomas, he said. So take the children there, because the party starts at tea time, he said. And with that, the Fat Controller left, except Thomas. Purple's a silly colour, said Thomas. What have I done? And with that, he puffed out of the shed to find Annie and Clarabelle. He hopes they will not laugh at him. What will Annie and Clarabelle do? They're going to laugh at me, he said to himself. But Annie and Clarabelle didn't laugh. They thought Thomas was still blue. And with that, he puffed next to Murdoch. Murdoch, he said, are you all right? What's wrong? Murdoch laughed. You're purple, Thomas. He laughed. And with that, Thomas felt so embarrassed. He did not want to be laughed at. So he had an idea. If I know an engine whose nearly there at Wellsworth, then I will try to hide. Then no one will laugh at me, he said, and this gave Thomas a good idea. Thomas the tank engine rattled around the branch line. Thomas the tank engine rattled around the branch line and realized that Oliver was ready to go. It's Oliver, he said. He'll sure laugh at me. And with that, he hid inside a tunnel where no one can see him. Oliver was enjoying himself when, out of the way, went on Luke. Double tender engine, on the track, he whistled as he steamed faster and faster, and with that, his two tenders flipped the tunnel and fell into the ground and into the mud below as Luke thundered by. Oliver came in and laughed at him. You blustering boilers, Thomas, said Oliver. You're purple. Thomas felt sad. He did not like being laughed at, so he puffed away somewhere else to hide, so no one can see him, so that no one can see him purple, like Rosie the purple tank engine. Just then, Rosie Just then, Thomas popped into a junction with trucks. He realised what to do. He decided to hide from the free trucks, but it was too late for Thomas now. He realised that Diesel was here. Oh no, he said, Diesel's here. Now he's sure to laugh at me. And he knew the trucks were a good place to hide from him, so that he won't see him like that. But Diesel already shunted them, and they were already gone. Oh no, said Thomas, must hide. And there, 2 grey trucks were there, and Diesel shunted them as well. No, said Thomas. And there, a grey truck and a red truck. Diesel shunted them too, and saw Thomas in purple. You're a purple steamy, Thomas, he said. Ha 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 ha. He laughed and carried on with his work. Thomas had enough. He was really upset to realise that Diesel thinks he was silly. Thomas was a little bit runny. He was running late, but just then he went inside the tunnel where he will take a shortcut. I won't be late for the children, he said, and he hid inside the tunnel. But he realised that Luke was there. It's Luke! I must get out! And with that, he hid inside the tunnel. Luke the double tender engine also raced through his branch line. He was feeling really happy, and there he could see some steam inside the tunnel. Come on, get out of the way, however you are, he said. Proteus and Molly were trying to sort that out for Luke, but Thomas already came out. He knew it was a mistake for him to fall into their tricks. And then Proteus laughed. You're purple, Thomas, he said. Ha ha ha, laughed Luke. I would hide if I had a paint like that, he said. Thomas was upset and decided not to hide. Great, he said. What have I done? When the 3 engines were gone, he came out of the tunnel and rushed faster and faster to pick up the children. He seemed to pass by Spencer, and Spencer laughed at him. Ha 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 ha, laughed Spencer. You do look beautiful, Thomas, he said. He went past by Ben, and so he didn't hide. Laughed Ben. That's not your colour, Thomas, he said. You look like Rosie's brother or sister. He laughed. And with that, Thomas knew he had enough. He rushed faster and faster with Annie and Clarabelle, and finally he arrived at Wellsworth Station, and there was the children. And there were the children and the Fat Controller's granddaughter. There were the children and the Fat Controller's granddaughter, and there they were, looking at Thomas's pink paint, and they were looking at Thomas's purple paint. They didn't laugh. You're purple, Thomas, said her granddaughter. You're purple, Thomas, said the girl, and purple's our favourite colour, said her and her friends. Really? Said Thomas, and then he was ready to go. Time to go, kids, he said. The kids arrived on board Annie and Clarabelle, and Thomas was ready to go to the town square. At tea time, Thomas arrived at the town square. When the children got out of Annie and Clarabelle, they gave 3 cheers for Thomas, and they were all very kind. And with that, Thomas the Purple Tank Engine was the hero of the Fat Controller's granddaughter's birthday. And he was.